Welcome to Am I the Idiot? Begin today's video has 2 stories now. Let's get started with the first one. This post is from subreddit AIT/AHA. It's by user NoEcho 8800. I'm a long-time lurker, and I finally got the courage to post here after I got inspired by the other post. Why throw away? Because I might be an AH, and I don't want people to find me. Please don't hate me very much for being so pathetic. I'm 34. My sister is 28. The crush John is 35. My sister started her first job after college in my city, and she moved in with me 4 years ago. That's when she met John. I remember her coming home that day, gushing about him. I thought she was so cute, and I listened to her every day talking about him. My sister is the opposite of me. She's bubbly and not shy. After 2 weeks, she asked him out, but he said that he wasn't interested at all. That broke her heart, but she isn't the type that gives up easily, so she thought maybe if they started as friends and he got to know her. My sister is used to get her way eventually, and she thought he was one of them. She is very social, and she was friends with almost all her colleagues, and within a year, she had more friends in the city than I did who've lived here since I was 18. On her 25th birthday, she invited all her friends and I met John. I was immediately taken by him, and I understood my sister's obsession. He is just amazing. I think he liked me too, because he spent more time talking to me than any other, and he was genuinely interested and asked questions as he really was curious about me, and he listened. Nothing happened after the party, but he contacted me on FBI a week later and asked me out. I refused, and he asked why, but I just said that I wasn't interested, that's all. He apologized, but then he said that he only saw my sister as a little sister. I didn't answer. After that, my sister started noticing that he was pulling away, even as a friend, and he stopped going out with the colleagues like they used to. She thought she would ask him out again. This time, he told her firmly that it never gonna happen, and that he saw her as a little sister. She was devastated, and I do think it's because she really liked him, but also she kept saying, "How dare he?" I think it came as a shock, because nobody ever rejected her before. By this time, she's been in love with him for 2 years. I felt sick to my stomach, because I felt like I had a hand in my sister's heartbreak, but I never had the courage to confess to her. Soon after that, she moved back home and started dating her now fiancé. They got engaged 2 months ago. John still lives here. I've met him twice, outside of IKEA once and the movies. We just nod acknowledgement and smiled. When my sister announced her engagement, I got a message from John on FB Ask how I've been, and just chatting about random things. We have been texting casually on FBI almost daily until about 2 weeks ago, when he asked for my number and told me that he wanted to take me out on a date. He said that he felt something and hasn't forgotten me since that party. His interest seems very genuine, and he is very respectful, talking about a movie or a walk. Nothing flirty or about just sleeping together. I don't know. I think I have had a crush on him too since I met him, and I've thought about him almost every day, and I fantasize about being with him, like being his wife. I've never told anyone about this because it's embarrassing and so horrible. Not even my closest friend knows about this. It's not even dating yet, and I feel that I've already betrayed my sister. Just wanting to see him feels like a betrayal. Every thought of him comes with guilt and shame. In one of his texts, he said, "What if this is the real thing, and it could turn into something beautiful? Like, what if we're right for each other?" I don't believe in soulmates, so I don't believe we're meant to be, or that he's the one or anything. And neither does he, because he keeps talking about wanting to get to know me and find out why he's having these feelings, and so on. So is it worth it? Will my sister understand? If it doesn't work, is it worth betraying her over a fling? Or worse, if it does work and we fall in love, I'm probably already 1-2 way there. I'm in so much despair. Opinion. It's important to acknowledge the complexity of emotions you are experiencing in this situation. Crushes and attraction can be powerful and sometimes unexpected, even in circumstances where it might feel uncomfortable or challenging. It takes courage to confront these feelings and be honest with yourself about what you are going through. It's clear that you care deeply for your sister and that you feel a tremendous amount of guilt over your feelings for John. It's natural to worry about how your actions might affect her and the potential consequences of pursuing a relationship with him. The fact that you are wrestling with these thoughts and considering the potential impact on your sister's feelings shows that you genuinely care about her well-being. In matters of the heart, there are no easy answers. It's crucial to be honest with yourself and examine your feelings and motivations. If you decide to explore a relationship with John, it would be essential to communicate openly and honestly with your sister about your feelings. While there may be hurt and disappointment initially, if your sister sees that you truly care about her and are willing to address the situation with sensitivity, there is a chance that she may come to understand and accept your decision. Comments. User Jackson Love 3 says, if you're going to pursue this, even as a fling, I think talking with your sister first would be the sisterly thing to do. Be honest with her. She's now with her son. They're engaged and going to marry one day. Hopefully, she has moved on from this crush. Username 44 says, yes, talk with your sister. BUTDONOTASKPAAEUIISSION. Do not put your fate in her hands. Tell her you're thinking about dating John and ask her how she would feel about it. If she reacts badly, tell her thank you for being honest with me. I would never want to hurt you. However, you're engaged. You've moved on. So your feelings will weigh with me, but I will decide based on my own feelings and what I think is right. User John Momberg 1999 says so. You think she should ask her sister if it's okay to date their crush, and then when they say no, she should just say, yo, well, too bad, sucks to suck. I didn't actually care about your response, and I'm gonna do it anyway, lol. Who? Why even ask if you're just gonna completely ignore her response and do it either way? That sounds like much more of an assholish move, tbh. User Okmarsupial says that's horribly manipulative. What good is a blessing given under these circumstances? User NurseIdea7 says so. You think the sister isn't being manipulative if she says her siblings can't date a man she had a romantic relationship with. This way is better than the previous suggestion that if it doesn't work to ask permission, tell the fiancé or forward the messages. It's being upfront to them both about the entire situation. After all, as her fiancé, he would have the right, if she is still hung up on this guy enough to deny her sister the chance to find happiness. Second story, by user Obsequious Solive. Recently got back from a bachelor party for K, May 28. It was not my kind of thing, drinking for 3 days straight and partying, but fun to see him and some buddies. K decided to invite a childhood friend of his who has always been a troubled person. We will call him T, 29 T. In my opinion, is an actual psychopath. We will leave it at that. I can elaborate more if you'll desire. On the second night, we all go out to the bars around 10 p.m. to dance and drink more. My brother showed up, and we all had a blast. As we are all getting ready to bar hop, T is missing. We scatter and try to find him to let him know we are leaving, but nobody can find him. We decide to stick around at that same bar after quickly checking a few others with part of the group. Around 1:30 a.m., we are all getting ready to leave, and we spot T with 2 girls. When we ask him what the hell he was doing, he says, "I'm bringing these bitches back with us. They are DTF." We all groan, and I personally wanted to say absolutely not, but K didn't put up a fight, so I was like, whatever. After an uncomfortable ride back, we all go up to the apartment Airbnb and get ready for bed, except T, who is still outside with the girls. I decide to sleep on the couch since my shared bed is with an extremely drunk guy I don't want throwing up on me. T comes in at 3:30 a.m. with one of the girls and tells me to get up. That's his bed. I say, "No, absolutely not. You can sleep on the floor or in with the drunk guy." He gets aggressive and grabs my shoulder to pull me up, and I stand and pin his arms to his side, then repeat what I just said. After the confrontation, T goes back to my room to do something, then comes out and leaves with the girl. He returns at 4:30 a.m. He was really pissed I cock-blocked him. I fundamentally disagreed with his choices and wanted to stand up for what I thought was right. My reasons being, we all paid for the Airbnb, and 11 of us, all engaged or married, in a cramped space, don't want to hear that going on. He is engaged. C, he never once asked K if it was okay to bring a girl back at all. Following this, I found out later he destroyed my AirPods Pro and cologne to exact his revenge, so I am taking him to small claims court after he spat in my face and refused to make it right. He also alleged I assaulted him, which is just not right. I pinned his arms to prevent conflict, as he is 5 shorter than me and made of Play-Doh. Opinion: it's evident from the events you described that you were put in a difficult and uncomfortable situation during the bachelor party. Despite that, your actions demonstrate a strong sense of responsibility and a desire to stand up for what you believe is right. Your concern for the group's well-being, respect for K's engagement, and the consideration of everyone's comfort in the shared Airbnb space show maturity and thoughtfulness. Your decision to speak up and try to dissuade T from bringing the girls back to the Airbnb was guided by a genuine concern for the group's overall experience and the potential consequences of such actions. It's admirable that you considered the impact of his choices on others, even though it was not your ideal situation. Furthermore, when T crossed boundaries and tried to claim your bed, you handled the situation assertively, making it clear that his behavior was unacceptable. You demonstrated a commitment to maintaining boundaries and respecting the space and comfort of others, even in the face of aggression from T. The decision to take T to small claims court after he damaged your personal belongings and refused to make amends is a responsible and assertive approach to seeking resolution. It shows that you value accountability and believe in standing up for your rights. Despite Tia's false allegation, you have been forthcoming about your actions and maintained your integrity throughout this ordeal. Taking a strong stand against any form of assault is essential, and it's commendable that you handled the situation in a non-violent manner, focusing on de-escalation rather than aggression. In difficult situations like this, it's not always easy to make the right choices or stand up for what you believe in. However, your positive long opinion lies in your ability to navigate these challenges with grace, empathy, and a commitment to upholding your values. Your actions demonstrate that you are a person of integrity who prioritizes the well-being and comfort of others, and that's something to be proud of. Comments user 2 cents worth 4 US says sounds like he's the kind of friend that's felt sorry for, but no one has guts to tell him. No, it's a friendship of fear almost. As for the assaults, he pulled at your shoulder first. I sincerely hope Tia's fiancé finds out about his shenanigans and dumps him. User Obsequious Olive says that makes sense. I was wondering why nobody else was saying anything. They might just think it isn't their problem or feel bad for the dude. By the way, you are extremely perceptive to gather that from such a short story, as that is word for word what a lot of the men in the bachelor party said that didn't know him. User Eugenes Bluegenes says, I think those shows go through court filings across the country to find interesting cases to show and reach out to the principals to invite them. Source: XGF got letters from Judge Judy and a few others after her neighbor stole her cat and then filed a restraining order against her. That was a surreal day in actual court. User Loud Weakness 4840 says we also don't know if he had a hall pass. If he's as crazy as he sounds, and she's with him, then it's entirely possible she sees this as permissible behavior. That's why I'd take the indirect option of letting the truth come out in court, where it's just a matter of fact, versus directly telling his partner. You know the saying, don't shoot the messenger. Sometimes it's best to not be the messenger. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch it. Now, if you've gotten to this point in the video, I assume that you like these stories that I'm reading out, so